Okay. So here goes nothing. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't ever have any time alone, and this is all of my own doing. I'm heartbroken again, devastated again, alone again, and I look like the bad guy again. And that's okay. I don't care if I look like the bad guy. Only I really actually honestly try to be understanding and thoughtful and kind. Always. And it's only cost me a huge amount of pain and angst, but I can't, no matter how hard I try, I can't get myself to come to the conclusion that it's okay to be mean to somebody else or step on somebody else's toes because it's survival of the fittest. I can't get myself to come there. I can't get there. And I acknowledge that people have a lot of hate in their hearts, but why on earth are people are looking for a way to hurt people instead of help people, instead of they're going about it all wrong. Bringing me down and hurting me or chasing me away is not going to alleviate your own anxieties, your own whatever reason you find fault in me or hate in me. That's not going to alleviate the angst in your heart. It'll come back in the form of someone or something else. And I want to thank anybody that ever did listen to anything I said, and I hope that some kind of seed somewhere was planted between this one or Serendipity Solstice or Ninja of Nice, whatever channel you were able to. I hope you got something from the fact that I'm not safe. I'm not in a safe, there's no safety for me. I literally have bears and raccoons and people breaking into my home, plotting against me, and it's just for no more reason than they don't understand me. They don't bother to ask. I've never turned down a friend, never. I've always promised them I'll be your friend. You have to know that I'm not glued to my phone. I'm trying to live in the moment, so I'm not going to be your telephone friend. If you're looking for a text buddy or words with friends or Facebook liker, super liker person, count me out. If you call me and you're crying, I'll be there in 2 seconds. I'll be there in 2 days if you live across the country. Give me a way to figure out how to get there. I try to teach my children those same values, and I watch the rest of the world take those values away from them. All I'm saying is it's not safe, and I don't know if I'll be able to read cards for anyone. And that was really my dream. All I wanted to do was share my insights with someone who might be able to use them, to know that there's understanding, that there's other people in this world that feel the way you feel and have gone what you've gone through, and that it's normal. It's normal to love, and it's normal to want to love, and it's normal to want to be loved, and it's normal to want to belong, and it's normal for people to hurt, for people who've had those dreams and who have had those wishes on and who've been let down by the world, who have gone out now hardened and cruel, thinking that's the way it has to be. If you don't get me, someone else will. And that's really it. And I know that's really it. And that's what everyone is trying to make happen for me. And I won't cave. I will die. I will die before I live a life walking in the shoes, anything remotely similar to 95% of the people that I see in the world. They hurt people. Sorry if this camera is so close. I have you on my visor. I don't know any other place I can talk. I don't have any safe place I can go. People are literally holding knives to my throat. People are literally trying to take away my children. People are hurting me on the deepest level. They've already got my family, took my family away from me. What they don't know is they're trying to break somebody that's already been broken. I'm already broken. I'm a walking, bleeding heart. And they keep going and they just don't understand. I've got a can of spray paint. My car is making a noise. I hope it's not bothering you. I'm driving through the mountains. And this is a beautiful canyon. I love it. I saw a Bigfoot here. And when I drive through this canyon at night, I have 4, sometimes 6, depending on the night. Little night chariot warrior riders that ride me through with safety. The things I see now are magical. And I can't unsee them. And I can't possibly go back to believing that alone and empty world, that all of everything is all created in some divine mathematical genius for nothing. You know what my stepmother told me this weekend? I went to go see her and she said something glorious. It made perfect sense. She said, I learned this in biology class, Lola, and I said, well, you know, I love biology and I love everything else metaphysical, and I love quantum physics, and I love Einstein, and he knew he was just an enlightened being. But I said, tell me, Elena is her name. She's lovely. She's just a shout out to you, Elena, for being a glorious, beautiful soul. Well, anyway, Elena said to me, did you know about, because I was telling her about finding your spirit guides, and I was listening to a woman who had walked me through some meditations that were, but she used electrons and protons and cellular structure in her meditations to connect with energy on a very Eastern medicine level. And I thought it was really cool the way she did that, to use that vocab to connect with people who can't necessarily understand or are not willing to see past vocabulary. So I said, no, please. She goes, did you know, like, mitochondria, because we were talking about energy, mitochondria and RNA and all the ribosomes? And I said, no, please share. She said, on a basic level. See, the microchasms are there too, and we're not being able to see those yet, but the macrochasms we can't see either. Anyway, we live in our own little sphere, ever-changing kaleidoscope shape, with I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. Like, people want to say that there were tetrahedrons and we're cubes and we're all kinds of things we can't see because of different dimensions, but the reality is those dimensions are always morphing. The geomancy morphs, that the world is like a cloud, like a perfectly designed geometric cloud. And I know we all think of geometry in straight lines and angles, but new geometry. The brilliance behind it is fantastic, and that's the truth of the dimensions, and that's the truth of the world. But anyway, is that it is not a sphere or a cube or a cube inside a cube or a cylinder. All it is the ever morphing, ever changing, beautiful cloud. And this is really. Anyway, she goes, all the mitochondria in the world, or on cells, are on the basic cellular level, on the basic level of not cellular, of the building block. Anyway, they're feminine. All energy coming from a cell is feminine energy. Off the hook. Because what is our world today? Denying. What are we denying? What is it that we do? We go for money, bigger houses, material things. What are we denying? We're denying spirituality. We're denying intuition. We're denying unconditional love. We're denying feelings. That half of what makes a perfect balance. But you all know 40 days and 40 nights. Well, that came because it was out of whack. There'll be another 40 days and 40 nights, I promise you. Only it'll be again self-inflicted. God knows what those floods were. Who knows where they really actually came from, but I'm sure it came from our own ridiculous, redundant evilness upon each other. We'll wipe each other out. We will wipe ourselves out. 80%, they'll be just, and only those who are able to see that we're letting by blocking the feminine energy in ourselves, the women that block the feminine energy, especially culprits, but also the men who fear the feminine energy and think that we already know. Women already know. We already know. We need you. We want you to be masculine energy. We like the balance. The balance is perfect. We want to keep the balance. We don't want to be superior. We don't want. See, that's the difference. Men, the masculine energy, the yang, that is fearful of letting go because they think that, or in embracing the feminine energy within themselves and everywhere else, because they fear it. And we don't. We love the masculine energy. It's warm. It's safe. It's root chakra. And that's where the mistake is. Use your feelings. I don't know if I'm not safe. People, my husband, my ex-husband, malicious people who don't understand me and my lifestyle, who are uneducated and ignorant about paganism or Christianity or Muslim, because I find beauty in Islam. I find beauty in all, whatever it takes to get you there. Whatever it takes to get you there, I love it. As long as it's not in harboring, hurting anyone else. I don't care what you call source, energy, God, Allah, your higher self, whatever gets you there, to that place where you can be in touch and recognize the magnificence of what you are as a light being, a mermaid of the stars, a time traveler, a spiritual energy capable of timelessness. You are eternal. You are stardust. You are a star. Whatever gets you there, I don't care. I'm non-discriminatory. And if being non-discriminatory makes you discriminate against me, well then you can hurt me. Yes, you can. I'm not invincible. You can hurt me, for sure. You can cause an extreme amount of anguish, pain, stress, and grief for me, my children, and those that love me, which is very few. There's very few people in my life. But in the end, we all have to face ourselves. When you close your eyes and you take your last breath, however that last breath may be, 5 grams of energy will leave your physical body. And you will have to face yourself and the time you spent here and how you spent it. Did you spend it afraid? Did you spend your time here scared? Scared of everyone that loves themselves? Scared of everyone trying to find themselves? Scared of anyone that lives more fully and connected than you do, rather than learning from them, hurting them? Then you have a long journey ahead of you. I'm sorry I've been inconsistent. I have no routine. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful world out there. And for safety and for... There's a story about these people. There's a place that actually takes very sophisticated and detailed notes and tally on people who have been reincarnated and remember their past lives. These people are supreme. Well, there's a place that anyway, these kids, they come out, and this one kid, you know, it turns out, since he was a baby infant, things he couldn't have possibly collected from his environment as an infant, screaming, and when he was trying to get out, and then when he was trying to get out of something every time he went to bed, and then when he was able to speak, he was able to put together the fact that he had been in some plane crash over the ocean and named off a list of soldiers and his past name and how he had died, and they were able to locate this kid's past life and things he couldn't have possibly known, because his parents were non-believers in reincarnation. They were devout Catholics, and so they had a really hard time grasping it, but they saw their son tormented. So they asked, you know, this dad. So it turns out this kid, he went and they did a funeral for his old self, and they gave him some closure on that life, because he wasn't supposed to die. He was the only one that died on that mission. And they located the plane and everything like crazy. Well, there's only like 2,500 of these files. Anyways, these kids, they're divine. And you know what he said? Is his dad was talking to him when he was younger, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, and he said, "Son, I'm just so sorry. I'm not a better dad for you because I'm not able to always believe in everything that you say." And you know what this little rainbow child said? So typical rainbow child. He goes, "Well, don't sweat it, Dad. I knew you guys would be great parents when I picked you, and I love you." And that's just what I'm saying is, you pick your parents. You're divinely guided to face whatever challenges your parents are, or get whatever your parents are your parents for a reason. Not always. I mean, sometimes your parents are your parents so that they can be taken away from you. Sometimes this is it's whatever your soul is contracted. The point is, your soul is a contract and knows what it's coming into, and knows it's set up a series of challenges for itself. So the answers are within you, because you already, even in the Christianity, like I bought this Christian board game, and it goes like pre-earth life, then earth life, then the spirit world. And that's what I'm saying is, even across every single belief system that we've been able to come up with, I mean, I don't know every single tribe and but I know that anybody that's in a tribe or some sort of in touch native, they're called indigenous people. Their belief systems, I'm sure, are more intact than anybody else's. But all I'm saying is, even the Christianities and the Jewish, they have an establishment of some sort of pre-life. So all I'm saying is, The answers lie within you, not because you are God or you are divine. The answers lie within you because you came to this earth knowing what you were getting yourself into. You had the answers from above, and you're here to face them on this. You don't have lips when as an energy body. You travel at the speed of light. There's no time. Your body, your soul doesn't understand time. It doesn't understand the concept of time. Time only exists on this earth. E equals mc squared plus lambda. So you don't have these electrical pulses and synapses making these emotions and these feelings and hormones and this body, this tool, this beautiful, magnificent piece of magnificent science that somehow through thick and thin, it doesn't matter if you feed it nerds and Cheetos and breathe in polluted air, seems to be able to be alive and sustain lives on it. We all have bacteria in our bellies, and we have mites in our eyebrows eating. We all work in tandem, and it sustains life. This tool that we all shame and hate and point fingers at, oh, well, that person's tool's got bigger lips than that person's tool, or that person's tool has got acne, so they're a bad tool. No, it's a magical vessel you have, and you can only experience certain sensations in it, meaning time, meaning death, meaning crying, meaning hopelessness. These are not things you can experience outside of your body. So the wisdom that is within you, if you connect to you, you're connecting to your creator, to your source, your creator and source, and the answers lie within you. So whether a Muslim gets down on their knees and puts their forehead to the ground in the direction of Islam, or Israel, or whatever that big starts like K, I think they always different angles they go to, but or you're a Christian with your your cross beads and your on the pews, and you're praying with your eyes closed, connecting, or you're a Buddhist meditating with lotus flowers and underneath a beautiful tree, or whatever you're doing, whatever way you want to call it. If you're just somebody who likes to play video games and that's how you zone out and you find connection to your higher self, whatever gets you there, that higher self has the answers to whatever issue, whatever problem you're facing. You see, because it signed up for it. That's why those kids that come from the Dominican Republic, or from some third, I'm not meaning to single out, I don't want to name any country and just call them out, but if someone comes from a third world country and you see these sad children, and they're 4 or 5 years old, just horrible. At least this is the only way I can justify it. And they look in their eyes, and it's like they're the wisest soul you've ever seen, ever. And when they speak, people listen. These little children die, and they're sick, and that's a challenge they had. That's probably a horrible challenge that they had to check off of their challenge list. Call it the challenge list. You have a challenge list. I love reading cards. I love being in touch. I love Source. I love you. I understand you. They're trying to hurt me. They're ripping my family apart. They're trying to break somebody that's already broken. I won't be able to last much longer like this. I don't have the wherewithal to keep on fighting for love when the world doesn't want it. They're not even misguided. They know it's there. They just don't want it. I give up. I'm so sorry. I'm not gonna fight with you, or for you, or against you. I concede. You win. You've taken everything from me.